Have you ever stopped to think about how everything around us, well, eats? It's kind of wild. Some things literally dine on sunlight, others feast on decay, and some, get this, form these incredible partnerships just to share a meal. So let's dive right into this amazing menu and explore how life on Earth actually gets its food. So, really, what is on the menu? This question is at the very heart of everything we're talking about today. And the answers, they reveal these fundamental strategies that have allowed life to pop up and thrive in, every single corner of our planet. And it really all boils down to this. At the most basic level, you can split all of life into just two teams. You've got the makers, the organisms that can whip up their own food from scratch. And then you've got the takers, which is pretty much everyone else who needs to get their food from other living things. Let's kick things off with the first team. All right, meet the self-sufficient chefs of the biological world, the autotrophs. These guys are the ultimate creators. Their whole strategy is the foundation that almost all other life is built on. Talk about an evolutionary advantage, total independence. The really incredible thing here is how simple the ingredients are. Autotrophs, like all the green plants you see, they take the most basic stuff, carbon dioxide from the air, water, a few minerals, and just turn it into energy. They are, without a doubt, the planet's true producers. And their number one recipe? Photosynthesis. It's such an elegant process. They pull in some CO2 and water, use sunlight as the power source for the whole reaction, and voila, out comes glucose. That's a simple sugar, and it's pure food. By mastering this one little trick, autotrophs basically built the engine that powers most of our planet's ecosystems. Okay, take a look at this number for a second. 6,000 tons. What in the world could possibly be a single self-feeder that weighs that much? It's this, a gigantic grove of aspen trees out in Utah called Pando. And here's the kicker. It's technically a single organism, all connected by one massive root system. It weighs over 6,000 tons. It is just a stunning, mind-blowing example of the scale that autotrophs can achieve. Okay, so now let's switch over to the other team. Let's talk about the heterotrophs, the diverse diners who can't make their own food. And hey, this is our team. Our whole evolutionary strategy is built around efficiency. Why build your own energy factory when you can just go out and get the finished product, right? So the key thing to remember about heterotrophs is that we rely on pre-made organic food. We're talking fruits, vegetables, meat, basically anything that was, at one point, another living thing. From lions to you and me, we're all in this taker category. But how we take that food, well, that reveals some very different evolutionary paths. We can pretty much split most heterotrophs into two main dining styles. First, you've got the holozoic style. That's us. We eat a big piece of food, like an apple or a steak, and our bodies break it down on the inside. Then there's the saprophytic style, which is completely the opposite. Organisms like mushrooms basically digest their food outside their bodies. They release enzymes, let it all break down, and then just soak up the nutrients. And you can see the two groups pretty clearly here. Holozoic diners are most of the animals we know and love: humans, dogs, cows, lions. But saprophytic diners, they're nature's great recyclers. We're talking mushrooms, yeast, tons of bacteria. Their advantage is that they've carved out this amazing niche of feasting on dead and decaying stuff, unlocking nutrients that nobody else can get to. But hold on, there's another type of heterotroph, one that doesn't even wait for its meal to die. Its evolutionary strategy is all about extreme specialization. Let's meet the ultimate freeloaders of the natural world, the parasites. The relationship here is, well, completely one-sided. You have the parasite, which gets the food, and the host, which provides it. The absolute key difference here is that the host is very much alive while all this is going on. The parasite has basically outsourced its entire life, finding food, shelter, a stable temperature, to its unfortunate host. And unlike some other relationships we're about to see, this one is always a net negative for the host. There's no upside. The parasite's survival comes directly at the expense of the host's health, and in some cases, it can even be fatal. So here's a quick thought experiment for you. If you were a parasite, where would you set up shop? Would you live inside the host, where there's a constant food supply, but you're kind of trapped? Or outside, where it's easier to move around, but you're way more exposed? It's a really fascinating question of evolutionary trade-offs, right? Safety and stability versus freedom and opportunity. Okay, let's totally shift gears from that one-sided, kind of grim strategy to something way more collaborative. It's time to talk about symbiosis, an evolutionary strategy where two different organisms figure out they're just better off working together. Because it turns out not all of these super close living arrangements are parasitic. In fact, some of the most successful leaps forward in nature are built on cooperation, not on exploitation. And that brings us to symbiotic nutrition. This is where two totally different organisms live in close contact and share nutrients. And most of the time, this is a total win-win for both of them. It actually lets them survive in places where neither one could make it on their own. It's literally evolution through partnership. A perfect example of this is lichen. That stuff you see growing on rocks and trees, that's not one organism, it's two. You've got a fungus that provides a safe home and gathers minerals, and in return, an alga, which is an autotroph, does its photosynthesis thing and shares the food it makes. Together, they can live on bare rock, something neither could ever do alone. And get this, it's happening inside of us too, right now. E. coli bacteria are living in our intestines. They get a safe place to crash and easy access to food from what we eat. So what do we get out of the deal? Well, they produce vitamin B12 for us, which is an essential nutrient we can't make ourselves. It's a perfect partnership. All right, so let's do a super quick recap of life's menu and all these strategies. We started with the autotrophs, the independent makers. Then we moved to the heterotrophs, the efficient takers, which includes holozoic diners like us and the saprophytic recyclers like mushrooms. And within those really close relationships, we saw the specialized, one-sided parasitic strategy and the amazingly cooperative symbiotic strategy. So from the little plant on your windowsill to the bacteria deep inside your gut, every single living thing is connected through these basic, fundamental strategies for eating. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you look down at your own dinner plate, what does it say about your place in this incredible, interconnected